African Democratic Congress (ADC) has accused President Bola Tinubu of attempting to turn Nigeria into a one-party state following the recent defections of the governors of Enugu and Bayelsa States to the All Progressives Congress (APC). In a statement by its National Publicity Secretary Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, the ADC described the defections as a betrayal of the people and a major setback for democracy. According to the party, while the defections may seem to strengthen the APC, they in fact weaken democracy by eroding opposition and concentrating power in the hands of the ruling party. The ADC criticized the defected governors for abandoning their citizens and joining a government that it said had failed to tackle insecurity, economic hardship, and poor governance. Abdullahi condemned the moves as historic political apostasy, saying they revealed a clear divide between those fighting for Nigeria's redemption and those seeking personal gain. He added that the 2027 general elections would be a defining battle between Nigerians and what he called Tinubu's gang of governors, vowing that the opposition would remain steadfast despite ongoing defections. Defection is a personal decision. What role he's positing that it's turned into a one-party state? Is his statement justified? Are we going to point to the president and are we going to point to a system of cajoling, leaving that defection is a personal decision?
I spoke about Felix Omarka, who also, talked about those who defected from PDP to their party APC. Then, now, Abdullahi, the spokesperson of the ADC. The question here is, supposing these two governors of the PDP stock that defected from People's Democratic Party to the All Progressive Congress defected to African Democratic Congress, do you think the way Abdullahi sounded would have been the way he should have sounded?
So you're saying he's sounding this way because it wasn't to the ADC?
Fine. So let me tell you. You see Nigerian politicians. This Abdullahi was of the APC. I remember very vividly. He was a spokesperson of the APC at the National.
Okay.
You understand my point?
Mm.
Most of their members, how many of them that are the chieftains of the African Democratic Congress today that were not either in PDP or APC? So when they see, that's why I don't like when politicians speak from both sides of their mouth, as if Nigerians do not have brains to reason or think of who they are in the past. So what is happening in Nigeria today politically, this Abdullahi, the spokesperson of ADC, cannot exonerate himself that he did not contribute to the mess we are in today in this country.
But Dr. Harry, beyond Abdullahi, don't you see this as a menace towards eroding the multi-party system?
I will come to that. Now, looking at that, since you've asked, APC has 24. Has taken over 24 states today. So I'm talking to you today. I don't know the decision of Diri. Maybe is thinking towards that. But if Diri decided to go to APC to make 25, that is, APC will have 25 states of this country. PDP has about 8 or thereabout, 7.
9.
Okay, let's look at it that way too. Now, if a particular political party has taken 24 of these states, APGA has 1, Labour Party has 1, NNPP has 1. Is it not a clear indication that Nigeria, as people are pointed at, tilting towards a one-party state? It's clear. And the APC is still willing to coerce more other party members into their fold.
Your word there, coerce. Are we removing the facts that these governors, the defecting, first is a personal decision? Are you positing that APC goes about coercing governors? If you don't join us, you won't get. If you don't join us, this will happen to you. Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't forget what Adam Shoshimula said when he was the national chairman of the APC. He said that if you want your sins all the sins you've committed politically to be forgiven. Cross over from wherever you are to the APC, and your sins, will be completely forgiven.
Interesting.
Now tell me, don't you also think that could also be the reason behind these gales of defections happening in 2025 alone? You have 4 prominent members of the People's Democratic Party defecting to the APC. Now, also look at it in this way. Apart from being coerced, either by threat, most of them knew their political sins they have committed over time. Most of them has been found to have been very corrupt when they held one position before becoming governor. And so with that, they know that if they fail to do the needful, and if they turn the agency of government that checkmates corrupt practices, they will be the scapegoats.
But Dr. Henry, let's look at someone like Governor Omo Eno of Akwa Ibom State and the recent defection, Peter Mba. Would you say these men also are corrupt, and then because of their corrupt tendencies, they migrated?
None of them that did not hold one political office or the other before becoming governor.
Okay.
Like Umoda has been a commissioner for 6 years or thereabout before he was elected as the governor of Akwa Ibom State. And there was this saga of certificate forgery and all of that, which I don't want to talk about. The court said there was nothing like that.
Okay.
And I don't want to go into that because the court said there was nothing like that. Can any of them who are governors today boldly say that they did not indulge in one corrupt practices or the other? Well, they will answer that. But you see, there is a way of coercing someone to be part of your association. It could be an enticement of things that you lack or need as a person. 2, it could be that when they open your corrupt practice record, say, this man has committed so much, when it comes to politics. Let us flash it to his face. If he fail, then we'll ask the anti-corrupt agency to go after them. And you see, that will also be striking fear into them. And I listened to where somebody was. I listened to a radio station today when somebody called and talked about that one of the things that made most of them to defect is fear.
Fear of what?
Fear of, losing, because most of them are one-term governor.
Okay.
And so they believe that if they still remain in their political party that is being antagonist and they have a lot of problem, I'm talking about the PDP here, that it might be difficult for them to have the ticket to run for their second term. And so for that reasons, for them to, have that security in time to come, they need to take the next step to the next political party that will guarantee them. These people don't even believe on the people anymore. Going by their actions. Because if they believe that democracy is all about the people, and the people, possess enormous power when it comes to election, then the issue of defection shouldn't have been worrisome to them. But because they know that even when the people rejected them through their vote, they still have avenues to rig their way in to the office again.
Okay, go on.
Now, if democracy is all about the people, it is the people that give you the power, the mandate. The defection is nothing. If you like, remain in a political party that is known by nobody. So far you are doing the good thing that affects the people positively. Then the next election, if you go back and tell them, please vote for me, they will, because of what you've been able to do in the past 4 years. But when you've done nothing at all, when the standard of living of the people is not improved from stage 1 to stage 2, And you look at all of this, so the best thing for you to do, you moved into a political party that have the government forces around them. Because one who is on authority, take for instance, you have the police, you have the army, the air force, the navy, and other security agencies, which not today, and of course you know, not that you didn't know, that all the military, the police and other paramilitary is commanded by the president. So you can see the power that the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria has invested on the seat of the presidency.
Okay.
So because there is no election that is rigged in this country that security agency is not involved. If you take a study very deeply, you will understand what I'm saying.
But they are not collation officers.
I know that somebody will say allegedly, because everything in Nigeria...
They're not collation officers.
That's what I'm saying. You know, in Nigeria today, even when something is so open that everybody have seen, and when you say, they said allegedly. Okay, let me say that allegedly. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
So that I will not be, looked at somebody who says...
Because I was to ask if they are collation officers.
Now, there are not collation officers, so to say.
Okay.
But when you look at most of the dirty things that is being done at the polling unit and the collation center, something happened during the 2023 election. At the collation center at Obiopo, local government, the security agencies were selected people that should be at the collation center. Well, that's a story for another day. But you see, if the governors or any elected official knows that, look, it is the people that put me in that position via election, defection shouldn't be. But when they know that even that position they rig their way through, they want to look for another avenue or another mechanism that will take them to that position which they are unhindered. Unhindered. So but this time, I think there will be difference.
Why do you think
I'm not a prophet.
Okay.
Because the people are willing to take their destiny in their own hands. So it's not going to be rigging tawdry as usual.
Okay.
Because the people will be ready. You know, when the people are ready, when the people says no, all what you are saying, all these things will stop. Because no amount of intimidation will stop the will of the people when the people are ready. And I'm thinking, and I also think deeply that Nigerians are ready because the conditions in which they are currently is not palatable, it's not comfortable, it's not conducive. And they want to liberate themselves by themselves and for themselves, because that's the tenet of democracy.
Okay, Dr. Henry, one more question. Would you say the multi-party system has favored us as a people?
Because looking at the nature of Nigeria Constitution, gives room for multi-party system. And so looking at what is happening currently is tilting towards having a one-party state, which as it stands now, apart from the ADC and few voices, do we have a compatible opposition in this country currently? The answer is no. Apart from those individuals who are activists. You understand? That they defy all odds. They said whatever that will happen, let it happen. And you see them talking. But how many of the political parties... Okay, look at PDP. Have they ever pointed anything that the APC is doing as an opposition? The answer is no. Because most of them are collaborators with the party in power to weaken the party. I'm talking about the PDP here. Because in doing that, they also stand to benefit either from the ruling party. So for me, today is not a day I should be talking about how PDP is. I'm not talking about that. But we, talked about the defection of these people from their party to other political party. But for me, if the interest of Nigeria has anything to do with them, then they should think first about the interest of the people before their interest. Because that's what leadership entails. When you always think about yourself, and yourself alone, and maybe few of your cronies, what about the people?